Providers explained. A provider is not infrastructure, and it is not Terraform itself. A provider is an adapter. It translates Terraform's intent into calls a real system understands. Terraform never creates anything directly. Every real change flows through a provider. Terraform lives at a boundary. On one side is your declared configuration. On the other side is an external system with its own rules and its own API. The provider sits exactly at that boundary. Terraform stays clean. The provider gets its hands dirty. It is how Terraform can speak without knowing the system personally. Cause first. You declare desired state. Effect second. The provider interprets that declaration and decides which API actions are possible. If something can be updated in place, the provider allows it. If something cannot, the provider demands replacement. Terraform is not being strict, it is being honest. Every external system has limits. Some fields are mutable, some are permanent. Terraform does not invent these rules. The provider encodes them. That is why different providers behave differently, even when Terraform syntax looks the same. A provider does not own identity. It receives identity. Credentials, roles, tokens, or environment-based identity flow into the provider. The provider then uses that identity to act on Terraform's behalf. Terraform never logs in. The provider does using the identity it was given. Terraform itself is generic. Providers make it specific. That is how one workflow can manage many systems without Terraform changing its core logic. The structure of your workflow stays the same, only the adapters change. Here are 3 examples of providers. You have Amazon's AWS, Microsoft's Azure, Google Cloud Platform, when something fails, it is often not Terraform. It is the provider enforcing the boundary, rejecting an impossible request, or refusing an invalid identity. This is not a crash and not a mistake. It is boundary enforcement. The provider is protecting the system from invalid state. Think of Terraform as a planner. Think of providers as translators and gatekeepers. Terraform describes truth. Providers decide what truth can become real. In a future lesson, we will look at how providers are selected, versioned, and locked in place. For now, hold the boundary model firmly. Everything else builds on it.